Hello everybody, we're on Magic Mix plot. Just popped in for a cup of tea with him and have a look at this. Now both these plants were started at the same time. They're called Giganteo tomatoes, really big ones. Hopefully they'll grow to. Now that plant is exactly the same start date as this plant. The only difference is he's been watering it, base watering in the tray with this stuff, half a capful in with his water as he's been filling up these trays with this one, and then just normal water with the small one, and that I would say is 3 times the size as that one. Both the same plant then. This stuff, Elixir, liquid seaweed organic fertilizer, Hebridean seaweed, and it's a liquid seaweed, concentrated obviously. He's just been showing us, he's just given us that one. He's got this one as a spare one, but he started some off in these trays with the liquid fertilizer addition to the water, half a capful, and there you go. So yeah, probably a capful per 6 litres. That's all he's been putting in there, and the results of these. Amazing, that, isn't it? He just planted that one on, obviously now, but you can see that that's a much bigger plant anyway. Interesting to watch those results, boys and girls. But before we go across the mine, Mick's just spreading some calcified seaweed in his brassica house. Here he is.
Yeah, dust of this stuff. Calcified seaweed. The same as down that bottle, but it's got shells in it, oyster shells.
Yeah.
That's the calcification in it. So. Alright, rain will just lay that way in no time. Just wash into there.
Wash it in, rake it in.
Same with all the good for any plants.
Yeah, helps with the uptake of the nutrition. Gets it up through the stems. I can't talk with this daft tooth in now. I've had it out for so long. I sound like Sylvester the cat. Suffering succotash. Belting stuff that though, isn't it? That calcified seaweed.
Yeah. £2, I think that's, what was it that? £2.6 different shop.
For a full bag of it, innit?
All this temp with it, so it's like, and I've done that with a bag, so that's a fiver for them 2 bags though. Just feed it in between with a bit of comfrey or tomato food. Other than that, so give them a good start then.
Raking it in, it'll wash it in as well, like Mick's saying before, and that it all assists in the nutritional pickup of the beds. You know, you've had manure in there as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it's been covered with cardboard all winter as well.
Yeah.
Just take it off, put it in compost.
So the worms have had a go.
There's no weed in doing it.
Brilliant. So yeah, tune into Old McDarbys Farm. There he is. For more of the same. I forgot to tell you as well. I've got me. Been telling Mick there. I've got my tooth back. Saved myself a couple of £100.
Go back on carrots now then, can you?
Tooth has returned. I've got to get used to talking with it in now though, because I sound like Old Man River. Right, let's get on to mine. There's the peas that we did the other day. Sorry about the wind. Fingers crossed for them. I'm going to give them a watering, I think, with the nettle tea when I get back. Give them a good nettle tea soaking. But it's kept the birds off, hasn't it? Which is good, and kept the wind off them. Here's the onions. Sensu overwintering onions. They're still okay. We're expecting rain today, so I'm not going to be watering them. There's already the decent nutrition in the soil, like you saw when we were planting them out. Same with the garlic over there. We've got the broad beans. They're looking alright, they're looking quite healthy. Again, next weekend I'm going to be putting some sort of corralling around them. As they start to grow, they're going to start getting a bit wind beaten. But at this stage, while they're still low, it'll strengthen the stems, which is again is difficult when you've got a new tooth in. Softening, get succotash. But there we go. They're going to be sort of cordoned, and you'll see that next weekend. We might even start planting out some of the brassicas next weekend. I'll be tidying these beds up and preparing the beds again for the brassicas. Get this done. There's a lot to do. This is the busy time of year, this, guys. I've got all those breeze blocks there as well I need to get something done with. The idea of those was going to be creating a raised bed with them, but I'm trying to figure out where I can put the raised bed because I'm running out of space. First world problems, guys, first world problems. When it's spring again, I'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. They should call me Tony Two Lines. I know 2 lines of every song and no more than that. Start singing and think, I know, and I forget the lines. So this is the cold frame inside Tiki Tunnel 1. Our super duper trampoline framed polytunnel. And them mice have been at it again. Look at that, they've cleared everything out this. No, they've not. I've just moved the stuff. So here we have the sweet corn showing its face. We've got 18 popping through so far. They're going to stay in there. Inside the pizza restaurant. The Italian restaurant tub. And we'll leave them in there for a bit until they get up to the top. Are you off, Mick? Nice one, pal. See you next weekend. So there we go, and they're in rows of 5 if you remember, down there. I planted 25 and 18 have popped up so far. There's still time for the other ones. They might be a little bit further below the ground. Not an exact science of sowing with me, I just put my finger in like that. And when it hits my thumb, that's where the seed goes. Or the kernel of corn went in there. So I've cleared that space out for getting more seed starts in. But we're going away today. We're going to Tolaka Bay in North Wales. So we're going to O'Neill country. In fact, it's not O'Neill country. He's down at the bottom of Wales. But we're going into North Wales, where they're more like scousers that have been shipwrecked around Tolaka and Pwllheli and places like that. Anyway, there you go. These are going to be going into this propagator. So the tomatoes that Mick's just given me are going in there, and I'm going to take those beans out. Those are the dwarf French beans. I'm going to take those out and pop them in there. Right, so as you can see, some of those plants are quite near the top, aren't they? So we're going to take a bit of a risk. They're inside the polytunnel anyway, so we're going to take that lid off, I think, and just leave them like that, because we're going to be away for 5 days, and in that 5 days period I'll bet they've grown about 3 inches, which will mean that they'll go beyond the glass ceiling. They'll burst the glass ceiling, so we're going to take it off. Alright, so Magic Mix give us several there. There's a Roma, which is like an Italian plum tomato, a Roma. That was the 29th of the 1st he started that one off in a heated propagator back at his place. Check out Mick's channel, it's very good. Magical Mick Derbyshire there at Old McDarbys Farm. Right, that's a beefsteak. That is a Giganto, that's the Giganto one we were talking about before. There's another Roma. And what's that one there? Black cherry tomato at the back. Okay. Now I've yet to start mine, but I've got some gold that I'm definitely going to be starting off next week in here. Now that the temperature's just about right, and we're just hoping that we don't get any sort of severe frosts. It should be fine in here, to be honest with you, because outside it's like 6 degrees, and inside here it's considerably more than that. I bet it's into the late teens, and it is. It's actually 20 degrees inside here, and it's only 6 or 7 outside, so this should be okay. This should be okay. Fingers crossed. Let's take a look at the other specimens we had sown in here. See how they're getting on. As you can see there, you've got the dwarf French that was inside that propagator, and they're all bursting through now. I expect that when I come back they'll all be up then, and we'll have 15 dwarf French highly prolific bean plants on the go. Okay, we've moved across to Tiki Tunnel 2. Those are all the cluster planted. Cluster suffering succotash. I'll get used to this tooth again. Cluster planted beetroot in there. We've got the Cylindra, Moulin Rouge, Boltardy, and Detroit 2. That Moulin Rouge is a very deep coloured, deep purple beetroot. Not as much propagation on those, germination, but I think those were older actually. I think those were on the last year of sow by date. So they're not quite as prolific as they've come through, but we've got some, haven't we? And we'll start some more of them. I like them ones. I like bull's blood as well, but I've not been able to get hold of bull's blood. Your cucumbers, you've got your Market More there, Market More 72. We have got 8 of those, and they've all popped through. They're all doing well so far, so fingers crossed for them. We've got the Telegraph at the back there. These are all sodden though, they're very damp. So we're hoping that in the next 5 days they're going to be fine in here. I'm not going to put any more water in. We'll just let them take up the water that's already in the compost. I might get my mother to come down on the Wednesday or the Thursday and just check that they're not drying out. But as soon as we get back on the Friday, we're back about 6 o'clock, and I'll have a nip up and make sure everything's okay. These are getting a bit leggy because they've been inside that coal frame too long, really. So hopefully in here, because it's going to be brighter and lighter, they won't get as leggy, they'll get more stout. Yeah, we've got plenty on the go, haven't we there? Like dwarf kale. Again, not 100% germination. I've thinned them out, a lot of these though. The weaker ones that were getting too leggy. I have thinned them. So it's not as bad as it looks, to be honest. Basilica Violetto, that's the purple collies. Fingers crossed. Romanesco. I'll be starting more of these off, you know, next weekend. I'm going to be doing a Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Maybe even a Friday. I'll do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll be on here on Monday as well. So you'll be getting plenty off me next week. Not so much this week because we're going away to Telaka Bay in North Wales. Caraflex pointed. It's a hispy type of cabbage, that one. Zaragoza F1. It's a collie. And Calabrese there. Commonly referred to as broccoli. Yeah. We like our collies. And there we've got some onions and leeks. Golden acre cabbage. The celery. You never know. I might pop a bit of water in there, but not too much. We'll just see how we go. And there's our mountain of compost. I just thought these are going to be fine, actually. You know, but again, as I say, they're very damp. They're sodden, really, so they shouldn't be too bad. You don't want to stand them in water all the time. Tooth. There's always a certain nervousness when you're actually going to be away from the plots at this time of year, especially. You're going to be away from the plots for a period of time. And Mick's working next week, so he'll not be able to pop in. I might ask Joe, actually. I'll ask Joe if he can have a nip in and just make sure they're not drying out and what have you. Because Joe's only next door, the wise old elf, and I think he's on all week next week. He gets me every time, you know. There's a spider. He always makes his web here, and I always forget he's made his web here, and I can't see it, and then I walk through and I get covered in web. And I think he just does it. He just does it to mock me, the spider. Doesn't want to catch any flies, he's just doing it for a laugh. Look at them over there. go and have a look at them. What they are unexpected elephant garlics. We took the elephant, we planted 8 in, and I thought only 5 had popped up, which they did last year. Only 5 of them popped up. But this year, these came through, back end of the year, and I thought, well, I don't remember planting any more. And obviously I hadn't, they just hadn't come through last year. And those are elephant garlic, so it'll be interesting to see what's underneath there, because the bulbs on the elephant garlic can be as big as your fist. You get 10 or 12 cloves off that are quite large. They're quite mild. They're more in the leek family, really, apparently, than the garlic. But they're called elephant garlic, so we'll see what they're like when they pop out. All the spuds are underneath here, as long as all the detritus that's piled on top. I'm keeping all of these 2x1 timbers for when we extend this and we do the big polytunnel. Sorry, the netted hoop house that we're planning on putting on here. The walk-in hoop house. That's going to be the width of it. It's going to be about 8 feet by 12 feet hoop house. And that's another project for next week. We're going to be doing that next weekend. Yeah, and tidying up as soon as I get back, probably on a Saturday. Give it a good tidy. We had the plot inspection yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it the day before? The day before, Saturday it was. And I was bringing all of these on. We've got tons of these paving slabs as well that we've picked up. Those paving slabs are out on the lane, and it was naughty of me to leave them on the lane. They've been there for over a week, but there's some weight in these. They are very heavy, so I didn't want to do them on my own, to be honest. And my mate Darryl came back down with us on Saturday, and we moved them onto here. And we got all these as well. Dug them all up from one of his mum's mates in Lee. We brought them up here. There's all stacked down there as well. We've got, how many we've got there? 12. There's 12 there. I think altogether we've got about 40. And also the pavers that are down there. And there's another 12 down there. So yeah, we've got 50 odd 18-inch square, I think they are, pavers. We're going to be doing the paths with these, and also a bit of a patio area in front of the lady farmer's black shed of death, which is this one. That's all going to be done. Obviously, we've been knocking knocking some of the mortar that was already on them. We dug them up and shifted them, but it's an hell of a job getting that mortar off. It's welded to it. Not literally welded, obviously, but it's well stuck. So we're going to clear all them off, get them all nicely cleared up, and yeah, we're going to be using them, dig them up as well, and just relay it so it's all nice down here. This timber stuff's going to come out. We're going to have the paths down all around this. We're going to have the stone, so that's another one to look out for. Maybe next weekend if I can get cracking on with it. We're going to get them down. Okay, boys and girls, now because of the wind I've come back inside. It's quite breezy today, and I know that the sound isn't too good when the wind's blowing, so I'm back inside Tiki Tunnel 1. I'm just going to say bye bye to you now. Keep growing with your heads down, that's the key. That's where we're up to at the moment. Got fingers crossed. I'll be away for 5 days, but don't worry, I'll be back on Saturday. You'll be seeing me Saturday, Sunday and Monday next week. And yeah, if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Take care of yourselves and each other. We love you all. If you're a lady, you've been beautiful, fragrant and fantastic. If you're a gentleman, you've been forthright, virile and masculine. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between. Guru Mafinda signing out. Ta-da.